Welcome. I'm Diane Yellow-Light, Certified Psychic. Today we're going to talk about the fear of self. Not to have fear in your life. How to come to terms with things when they're not comfortable. How to deal with what you're going to do. And how to remove the fear that sits in your stomach that is difficult for one to make decisions. Fear only means that there's a part of you that doesn't trust your intuition or trust yourself. This is a part that has to be developed, and by developing it every day and trusting in who you are and letting yourself be guided by your internal intuition and thoughts and ideas, you will be led to the path that you need to go for where you need to grow. We become so fearful in our world that we want everybody else to think for us. Yes, it's a confusing time. However, you still need to ponder upon what you need to do. I always say, why don't you come up with some ideas, and then if you have a friend, or your husband or lover or boyfriend or boss, whoever, you decide that you haven't quite made a decision about how to do something. You sit down and think about all the pros and the cons and come up with kind of the idea or a couple options that you would like to do. Then you present your options to another person, and then you ask them for their input. Lots of times we go asking other people for advice, and when they give it to us, it's not what we really want to hear. Or if we hear it and we know it makes sense, maybe we're afraid that we can't do it. So that's why it's important that all of our insight comes from inner self within time. Yes, we all need to be guided and directed, and we all have people come into our lives that help us to give us tools, how to work with ourselves and how to advance ourselves to our highest good, to the essence of the remembrance of who we really are. That's our goal for this year of creativity, is to come back to our own basic roots and basic ideas and concepts and build a new future and adventure out of that. So if you live in fear, you can't live in experience. If you live in fear, you can't live in love. If you live in fear, you can't live in balance. If you live in fear, you can't think. If you can't think, then you can't choose. If you can't choose, then you can't complete. And we need to complete every step we take so we can keep moving forward to that peace and contentment and happiness that we have in our souls while we're on earth. We don't have to go to heaven to just be in heaven. We have to be heaven here on earth. Yes, we go through the dark seas, which we call hell on earth, and there is that. But there's also heaven on earth. Why don't you try finding that heaven on earth, and that's those peaceful moments in your life where everything feels good and nothing seems to be wrong and everything is fuzzy and happy, and then all of a sudden here comes the thunder. That's part of the process of life. But make at least 97% of your day, of your life, being in the positive and the beauty and the love of things and seeing the appreciation of things. It's such a tug of war out there between individuals, jobs, men, women, children. Everybody's having a difficult time right now. That's okay. Each and every one of you can and will go above and beyond your circumstances. Remember to 1, be honest with self. 2, go to your intuition. Ask for help. Listen. Open your eyes, hear and see the words, and then when you get this gut level feeling that tells you this is what you need to do, don't second guess yourself. Go ahead and do it. And thank the universe and yourself for having the courage to be able to take a step forward and do something maybe that you weren't really sure of doing. There's no failures in life. There's just mistakes. And I know we all get tired of making mistakes. However, we'll keep making them because that's part of the process of life. We just don't need to make so many. So I send each and every one of you love and light and life, and I ask you to go above your circumstances, and we'll continue to talk on different subjects here that's going to allow you to help create and develop yourself in the future. So remember, come to the terms of truth, focus, commit, and you'll be there before you know it. Until next time, bye-bye.